Hey y'all, today we're going to be learning something. It might possibly scare the pants off you, depending on what scares you. I was sitting in astronomy the other day, because I take astronomy, and we were watching a video about the sun. Really, what's the sun got to do with anything? It's circular, it's in the sky, it's warm, it's nothing big, right? Wrong. The sun is really, really fantastic. It does all this awesome stuff that you really couldn't think it did. It has earthquakes, it has like tidal waves, it's amazing. But because it's amazing, it's also really scary. There are these things called solar storms, and basically it's when the sunspots, which are darker pieces of the sun that are cooler, and under a lot of pressure, so they explode. And when that happens, a lot of stuff comes off the sun. And usually the solar storms aren't that bad in comparison to what they could be. And they cause a lot of the northern lights or the aurora, and they can be really pretty. Sometimes they're very dangerous. In 1859, a solar storm occurred. They call it the perfect solar storm. And it was so bad that it knocked out the power that they had, which wasn't a lot. They had telegraph wires, and still, it knocked out the telegraph wires. Now, the big thing about the sun is that it rotates, as like our Earth does. It rotates on an axis. It has a north and south pole, but the north and south pole change every 11 years. So you have this Earth, the sun, just rotating around on its own axis, but it takes so long that it's 11 years. So someday, when it rotates, the north and south poles switch. But they still call the North Pole if it's underneath. It makes no sense. Now the Earth does this too. It just takes a little bit longer. It takes 5,000 years or something like that. And it's not that big a deal for us, but for the sun, it does it 11 years. And when it does that, the sunspots, these pressurized little black, darkened, cooler areas of the sun, start facing us. And the sunspot side is the dangerous side of the sun. So, when those happen, solar storms can occur. Well, like I said, they're usually not very dangerous, but they can be. And so we don't really know when the dangerous ones are going to occur. Now here's the scary part. If a big perfect solar storm occurs again in the next 11 years, because the poles have switched, or have supposed to switch this year or next year, if they occur again and our power gets wiped out, that's an issue. We don't just have telegraph wires. We have entire civilizations with electricity. Now, unless you're Amish, this is a huge deal. If you're Amish, then you're set. No electricity. Can you imagine that? None. I can't even go 2 days without power. Imagine forever. Or until we get back on our feet, anyway. It's insane and frightening. And, I would consider it the end of the world. I don't know about you. All these things are really likely. Someday the Earth is going to die. Someday the sun is going to die out because it's a star, and it's a, red dwarf or whatever, white dwarf, I don't remember. And it's going to die out. But that's not going to be for a while. But this is really possible. Our power getting wiped out is really possible. Now don't worry, I don't mean to do this to scare you or anything, but it's just weird to think about. It's weird to think that we might actually have to go without power. It wouldn't just be a TV show. That Revolution TV show, I don't even watch it. Though maybe I should, now that I know that the Earth might actually lose power within the next 11 years. So it's really frightening. And I'm sorry if I scared the crap out of you. But I thought it was interesting, too. I hope you learned something. Aside from that you guys need to start building a bunker with generators or whatever. So I'm gonna go play Sims, where the worst thing that can happen is a meteorite, being abducted by aliens, getting bitten by a vampire. Actually, the Sims world doesn't sound much better than the real world. So I think I'll go study. Until next time, bye!